What's poppin', Who Dat Nation? Welcome into Saints Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Trace Gerard. We got a busy and loaded show for you today. We're talking Derek Carr. Could he be headed to New Orleans this offseason? We got some new Sean Payton updates. We got to take care and cover the latest on him. And then also, what does Michael Thomas's future look like in the black and gold? We're going to break all this down and a whole lot more in today's show. Be sure to go down, drop a like on the video if you're ready for some Saints football. And hey, without further ado, let's break it down. What's poppin', Who Dat Nation? Like I said, my name is Trace Gerard, and welcome into today's show. Like I said, very busy, lots of fun topics, and a lot to get going on. But first things first, should Derek Carr be wearing the black and gold next season? Now, Derek Carr is looking for a new home after being benched for Jarrett Stidham earlier in this season. He's looking to be traded, was benched, like I said. He is guaranteed $40.4 million on his current contract, and that's all fully guaranteed. And actually, interesting anecdote, why we're talking about Derek Carr to the Saints and why it makes sense, Dennis Allen did draft him whenever he was with the Raiders in 2014. And if you take a look at his numbers over the last 4 years, this past season, 60% completion percentage, 3,500 yards in the air, 24 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Not that great. However, 2021, 68% completion percentage, just under 5,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Not that amazing, not that bad. Could have been worse. 2020, 63.7 completion percentage, 4,103 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. And then in 2019, a 70% completion percentage, 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. And I've always said this. I think Derek Carr he's not a bad quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. He's the definition of extremely average. Like, he's not going to be the reason you lose games, and he's certainly not going to be the reason you win games. And that's not to say he hasn't done that in his career, but I think that just, like, overall in the grand scheme of things, he is just kind of, extremely average. And Mitchell Renz of the Raiders Report, he cooked up this trade idea, and I just kind of wanted to share it with you guys and kind of give my reaction, give y'all's reaction. He suggested that the Saints give up their second-round pick this year and their fourth-round pick this year for Derek Carr in exchange. And I think that this is, I don't know, man. I wouldn't give up a second and a fourth for Derek Carr for this year. Maybe like next year pick or something, but I'm not crazy on Derek Carr. I think there's better options. I think there's worse options as well. I just don't know if I'd give up a second and a fourth for Derek Carr. I also saw him saying that maybe you give up a first-round pick if you were able to trade away some Sean Payton picks and use those picks to trade for Derek Carr. I'm not giving up a haul for Derek Carr. I think he's a good quarterback, but like I said, I think he's just extremely average. But this show isn't really about me. It's all about you guys, the Who Dat Nation. So what you think? Should the Saints trade for Derek Carr? Type T for trade, type P for pass. And while you guys are down there, I want you to go and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 11,000 subscribers on the channel. When I took over, we had just under 2,500, and that was over a year ago. And here we are, shooting for 11,000 subs. We're about 449 away. Help us out. Hit the big red sub button. Hit the sub link. Share it with all your friends. Share it with the Who Dat Nation. We're trying to become the #1 Saints YouTube channel. I'm a diehard, lifelong Saints fan. I take pride in providing entertaining and informative analysis around the Saints for Saints fans. Hit that red subscribe button. Join our squad and join our Who Dat Nation. All right, so just more on Derek Carr. Fletcher Mackel, he tweeted this out. He said, for those wondering about Derek Carr and the Saints, I pitched that idea 2 years ago when I was linked to the trade rumors. And I was told, very good NFL sources, quote, Saints have no interest in him. Things always change. But in my opinion, I don't think that Mickey Loomis is a Carr guy. And I also don't think that Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, like, it didn't work once. Like, it's broke. Don't try and fix it. It's very broken. Like, Dennis Allen's already questionable as a head coach. We all know that. Why bring him a quarterback that was very unsuccessful with him? I don't know. It just, no, I'm not sold on. But there's other quarterback targets that I would be sold on if they're available. Jimmy Garropolo, I would like a lot more than Derek Carr. Say what you want, make the arguments you want, but I'm taking Jimmy G over Derek Carr, like any day of the week. Lamar Jackson, That explains itself. Aaron Rodgers, could he be retiring? Could he finally be headed to jeopardy? Could he look to try and make one more run at it? I don't know. Rumors are definitely going to be going all over the place, but he's somebody I would be interested in. Tom Brady, Not going to happen more than likely, but he's going to be a free agent, so we got to talk about him. And then, of course, there's also NFL draft targets like Will Levis, who I'm not very sold on. I know a lot of y'all are high on him. Grayson McCall has been a name that people have mentioned a lot, but he's actually coming back for his senior year, or for another year of football. And then Hendon Hooker is a name that has been linked to the Saints as well, out of Tennessee. So there's a lot of our targets, there's a lot of options, but I want you guys to let me know who should be the Saints quarterback in 2023. Let me know, who do you want to lead the Saints offense in the comment section. You might get hit with the YouTube ad break right here, so take advantage of it and let me know, who do you want to be the Saints quarterback in 2023. All right, next thing's next. Latest on Sean Payton. And I know that you're looking at this graphic and being like, Trace, what the hell is this? The Panthers have received permission to interview Sean Payton. And so when you take a look at his current interviews, he currently has the Denver Broncos, Arizona Cardinals, Houston Texans, and Carolina Panthers. Those are the 4 teams that have reached out and asked to have an interview and have been approved by the Saints. There's reports that teams understand what the compensation should look like. There have been no packages agreed upon yet, but they all know the Saints are looking for a first-round pick. And one team that initially I was pretty high on, that I thought Sean Payton could go to, was the Los Angeles Chargers. However, there's some recent reports suggesting that maybe the Chargers aren't actually going to part ways with Brandon Staley. We're going to stay on top of this situation. We're going to monitor it throughout the entire offseason or until something happens with Sean Payton. So be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications. But at the end of the day, I think that Sean Payton is a very quality coach. Everyone knows that you're looking for a first-round pick. On Colin Cowherd today, he mentioned that it's probably going to go for a mid to late round pick, or Sean Payton could get traded for a mid to late round pick in the first round. It could happen this offseason. I don't really know what to make of all of it. There's a lot of interest. Teams could still fire coaches. Coaches could retire. The possibilities are endless. And the point being, nothing's going to happen right this second, but we're going to keep covering it and we're going to stay on top of all of it. I think Sean Payton to LA makes a lot of sense. I think that he has some good interviews, and I think there's some pretty good compensation that you could get in return for Sean Payton with the 4 interviews he currently has, including that Houston Texans pick. I mean, that number 2 overall pick wouldn't be all that bad. But hey, Sean Payton is probably looking for another job right now. And you know where he's probably looking? LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. And you can get started. I'll put that link in the comment section and in the description of this video for you. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team for faster and for free. When I was fresh out of college, I was looking for a great job, and I found Chat Sports through LinkedIn. And I can confidently say it has been an amazing match, and that is such an important thing going into this stretch of 2023. You can add your purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience, so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs number 1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. And like I said, I was looking for a great job right out of college. I was really hungry to get into the sports media industry, and I was really hungry to find a great match. And through LinkedIn, I was able to find Chat Sports, and Chat Sports was able to find me. Go get started. I'll have the link in the comments section and the description of this video. One more time, that's linkedin.com/NFL Daily. One more reminder, terms and conditions apply. Whenever you take a look at a potential trade idea for Sean Payton, you could look at something like this. I think that the Saints need to do everything in their power to go and get everything you can for Payton. I don't care who he goes to at this point. Don't screw this up, Mickey. Get a bag in return. And if the Panthers want to go for it, fleece them. Ask for everything. Seeps, could you pull that graphic back up? I want to break that graphic down again one more time. I didn't even get a chance to really look at it and explain why I have this. So, Sean Payton goes to the Panthers. Obviously, that's what they would receive. And I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. This is just an idea if they wanted to go make this happen. The Saints could receive this year's first-round pick, which they have number 9 overall. And then you could also take their second and their fourth round pick for this season. And then also, screw them. Next year, give me your first and second round pick. My point being across all of this, I don't care what you got to do. Go make the Panthers pay if they want Sean Payton. Yeah, it would hurt to send him to a divisional rival. But, dude, the payoff, the compensation, you're telling me you wouldn't say yes to this? Come on now. Come on. Let's be realistic. And at the end of the day, this Sean Payton, I don't think he doesn't want to come back. They're sold on Dennis Allen for some reason, and that's who they're going to be rolling with. Bruce Feldman, and other news for the Saints, he tweeted this out. The Falcons have requested to interview Saints D-line coach Ryan Nielsen for their DC vacancy. Per league sources, Nielsen's work in recent years with New Orleans' defensive front is highly regarded around the league. Shout out Ryan Nielsen. He's been doing a great job with the Saints defensive line for years. It's awesome to see him starting to get some credit and start to get some love in terms of getting defensive coordinator looks. And when you're a good coach, you get interviewed for jobs. It's just kind of how it happens. Football's a business, and it be like that sometimes. But again, I want y'all to go take advantage of the opportunity to let me know your thoughts. Where will Sean Payton coach in 2023? I want you guys to share who you think he will be coaching. And if you don't think he returns this year, also let me know. I'm curious as to what you think. This show is all about the interaction. I'll be in the comment section chopping it up with you guys as well. To round things out, final things, or last things last, should the Saints cut Michael Thomas? It appears that the Saints are setting up to cut Thomas this offseason. And if anything does happen, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that way you can stay informed. We cover breaking Saints news, rumors, updates, analysis, all that and more. If something crazy happens, we'll go live. If something not that crazy happens, we'll make a video about it or we'll post it on the community page. It's all going to be here. It's all going to be free. Be sure to subscribe, lock us in, so that way you stay informed on anything that happens around the team this offseason. Going back to Michael Thomas, though. Nick Underhill reported that there have been some more details about the updated contract. There is also a $30 million bonus if he is active for 4 games next season to go on with the $31 million roster bonus we already know about. So if the Saints keep him, it would cost more than $60 million. And Michael Thomas, he's a phenomenal football player. Unless the contract is reworked, he's no longer a New Orleans Saint. It is unfortunate. It stinks. But that being said, I want you guys to look at the future. This is the current depth chart right now. You obviously have Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry, Thomas is more than likely going to be released this season or this offseason. Jarvis Landry, not sure if the Saints are going to bring him back in free agency, but you got Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed running the damn table for you. They're going to be the future of this receiving core. Marquez Callaway also, really look. I'm waiting for Marquez Callaway to really step up and be a wide receiver too and do what we think he can do. I am so excited to see what Traquan Smith and Chris Olave, what Rashid Shaheed, and Chris Olave can do in year 2. But I just want to give an homage to Michael Thomas for his career stats with the New Orleans Saints. 526 receiving yards, 6,121 yards, 35 touchdowns, and an average of 11.6. We don't need to talk about all the incredible seasons. We don't need to talk about all the incredible things that he's done. We don't need to sit here and talk about how amazing Michael Thomas has been for this offense. We all know that Michael Thomas has been a dog and he has been a beast. And if you have any ill will or any negative thoughts against him, I understand why. He was banged up. He didn't play a ton of games. But at the end of the day, he did some phenomenal things. For Drew Brees, for this offense, for this team, and for the city of New Orleans. And at the end of the day, it stinks. It didn't work out. But, hey, football's a business, and you got to do what you got to do. But, hey, I want everyone to go and type 13 to thank Michael Thomas for his time in New Orleans. I really appreciated everything he did. I loved watching him play when he could. It sucks that the time is more than likely over. But, hey, like I said, football's a business. So go down, type 13 to show some love to Michael Thomas. Who Dat Nation, y'all stay golden. I'll catch you next time. See you next video.